Good morning, everybody. Where did Mary go? Where's my last cigarette? So this is this was filed. Plaintiffs, as you see, Florida, Alabama, Los Angeles, Arizona, blah, blah, blah. Washington, of course, isn't on there because we're part of the communist regime. The defendants are the director of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Complaint for declaratory and injunctive relief from the federal courts. Since the COVID-19 pandemic began, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has made unprecedented assertion of power. Blah, 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 blah. If you'd like to read it, I'm making a video here. I'll go through it real quick. You'll have to learn to press pause, though. See, Alabama Association of Realtors, too? Association of Realtors. I don't know what that's kind of a naughty word. Probably have to hit mute, too, if you want to read it. Wear masks while in convenience and transportation hubs. Outright disdain for limits of power. That's right. Number 8. Florida is regulated by the mask mandate, for example, through its state-owned airports, and the mandate infers with prohibits public schools from, including while traveling on school conveyances. Factual background. Quantitative authority and the COVID-19 pandemic. Highlighted. Historically, the authority conferred by the first sentence of Article 264A was read in light of the specific measures authorized by the second sentence, and the government used this power for discrete actions such as banning a discrete item, detaining a ship, or taking other similar measures, distinctly limited in time, scope, and subject matter. On February 1st, 2021, the CDC issued the mask mandate. The mandate requires any person traveling on conveyance into and within to wear a mask and requires masks at transportation hubs. The CDC still has not allowed for the public comment on the mandate almost 14 months after its instance. In each instance, plaintiffs must expend resources to enforce the mandate. If they do not, they risk criminal and civil penalties. It harms plaintiffs' sovereign interests. Because we live in Washington State, we have no sovereign interests because we're plebs. Harms the plaintiffs' quasi-sovereign interest in the health, safety, and welfare of their citizens. Yes, it does. Mask mandates exceeds CDC authority under Article 264 in several ways. Does not authorize economy-wide measures. Does not authorize prophylactic mask requirements for individuals who show no sign of infection. Prevent the interstate spread of community. All legal mandate is not acknowledged, much less discussed. Numerous studies reaching different conclusions. Surgical masks to prevent influenza transmission in households. Cluster random trial, +1 November 2010. This is stuff I quoted 2 years ago. Effectiveness of adding a mask recommendation to other public health measures to prevent SARS-CoV-2 infection in Danish mask wearers. Annals Internal Med, November 2020. More recent one. Cluster randomized controlled trial to examine medical mask use as a source control for people with respiratory illness. 2016. Use of surgical face masks to reduce the incidence of common cold among healthcare workers in Japan. Randomized control test. 2009. Most of these I mentioned a long time ago. The CDC itself, in 2009, 2015, 2 different studies found that masks in public use are ineffective at limiting the spread of airborne pathogens. The mandate fails to discuss lesser alternatives of imposing mask mandates only on older children, not children. Yeah, fuck what. I'm going to get mad. But yeah, yep. The mandate neither explains the CDC failure to. The mandate neither explains the CDC's failure to issue a mask mandate for the first 11 months of the pandemic, nor acknowledges the reliance interest created by that inaction. I'm not quite sure what that. Or acknowledges the reliance interest. All right, so I should know what that fucking word is. Reliance. The act of relying or the state of being reliant. Okay, I kind of figured that. Oh, the faith, confidence, or trust by one who relies. I mean, that's kind of what I thought it meant, but I wasn't. The reliance interests. Nor acknowledges. Notice and comment. Yes. So, a big point about all these mandates, especially here in communist Washington, these were mandates. These were not legislative ordinances. They were not legislative laws, requirements. They were not debated upon. They were not argued in front of the judiciary or the legislature by our duly elected representatives. And there's a reason for that, because they probably all would have got fired if they enacted these things into law. But more so, let's give them the benefit of the doubt, which we should, if studies were allowed to be presented, if actual science was submitted into evidence, it would be hard for any non-corrupt, even politician, to say, oh, well, we should mandate these anyways. So the mandates weren't legal because they were using emergency powers that are supposed to be of limited time and jurisdiction. I don't know. Anyways, here's the fucking legal stuff. In the event that the court finds that authorizing a mask mandate, the statute would then give the CDC a general police power, right, which we don't want, in violation of the non-delegation doctrine, the Commerce Clause, and the 10th Amendment. Hold unlawful and set aside the mask mandate. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Issue permanent injunctive relief. Yes, please. And there it is. That's called citing the source. I think I already saved this. All right, there you go for my 2 friends on Facebook still. 4, maybe 5. I don't know. Nobody likes me anymore. Why does everybody hate me? Have a good day, everyone.